In this video, I just want to talk about how to actually get hired in 2024. As you look at the screen, apparently everybody has the answer. You either hear things like how to actually get hired where somebody gives you tips, and then there's somebody who's talking about how they got 500 job interviews and found out what recruiters care about, and they give you all the tips. And of course, and that was from a year ago. So all of you that are watching these videos and they're like, oh my gosh, it's because of AI, it's because of this. The truth is, most people don't know what is going on, but it is not AI. It is actually the economy is tough. We in the world are in a different place than we were 2, 3, 4 years ago. With everything that's going on in the world, a lot of companies are tightening their belts. They're being careful about who they hire. So it's not that jobs don't exist, it's just much harder to get, and that is just the case. And what you could do is you, of course, could watch YouTube videos and just be like, oh, there's no jobs, I quit, whatever. I mean, the economy is in such a state is that I don't know, like, it doesn't matter where you're going to go. I don't think you're going to have that security. Some people argue that doing things like being a plumber, being working in the trades, you're going to have a job too. And maybe that is the case, but believe it or not, you still need to develop that skill to be ready for that type of work. I used to do construction back in the day. I actually really loved it. I used to do masonry. It was really, really fun. I've done many different jobs, and there's nothing wrong doing those things. It's seasonal work sometimes. It is very hard work, but no matter what you decide to do, you're going to have to pay the price of working hard. And so when I see videos like this that tell you how to get actually hired, they give you the advice, and I've gave people advice. And you know what? The advice I give doesn't matter. The advice Web Dev Simplified gives doesn't matter. The one Salting, whatever advice he gives, I didn't watch the video, I don't even know if it's tech related, doesn't matter if you yourself are not doing the work without thinking about what's gonna come next, because you're like, I'm just gonna do what I have to do. However long it takes me, it takes me. Is it gonna take me a few months? It's gonna take me a year? It's gonna take me 2 years? Getting my first job took me 4.5 years. So it's hard. And so what I realized, the secret is not some of the videos that you watch, because most people give good advice. You know, it's all about networking, continue building up your skills, get so good that they can't ignore you. You know, go to meetups, interact with other developers, contribute to open source project, build things, right? And the thing is, we could say this until we're blue in the face. Somebody's always going to have an excuse and tell you why the job market sucks, why you can't get a job as a junior developer, why AI is going to take over the world, why this is going to happen. And so, you know what? I said, screw it. Like, I'm just going to do my own thing. Who cares? And so I decided that for moving forward, I am going to continue building things because this is what I enjoy. And so for this year, I'm basically focusing on Astro, Next.js, and Remix. What I want to do is improve better and deeper understanding of those technologies. I want to learn more about them. I want to obviously continue build things with Strappy, and I just want to work on improving my skill. And if I get fired, I get fired. If I have to get a job, I'll get another job. If I have to work at a supermarket because I can't get a dev job, guess what? That's not new to me. I've done that before. Like, I don't mind doing whatever it takes to make my life work. And if I fail, get hit by a bus, that is just the way things are. And so that's why I kind of stopped making this type of content where I'm like, oh, you know, this is how you get a job. Is because I made that one video, it got picked up by Primogen. He told his 2 cents. And one of the most important things he said, listen, you'll watch this video now, and 3 months from now, you're going to need to watch it again. And a year from now, you're going to watch it again, because the whole point is there's no designated path. It's just do the work, get better, make connections. And most of the time, the way you find job opportunities is through people that you know. And if you have a small social network, you're not going to be able to find anything. I have never gotten a job from sending resumes. It's always been me handing my resume to someone I know, or making a connection with someone I know and getting my name passed to that organization through a referral. And so the whole point here is, instead of focusing on what you have no control over, like you don't have control over the job market, you don't know what's going to happen, but what you could do is just make a decision. You know what? Every day I'm going to do something that moves me forward to allow me to get better at my skill, at my craft, so I could be ready when the job market picks up. And if the job market doesn't pick up, guess what? You can move to a tech adjacent role. There's a lot of roles that may not be developer roles, but require technical knowledge and understanding that also have decent salary that you could do in the meantime while you're looking for that developer job. And so basically, if you want it bad enough, there's a way. But if I were to give you one good resource to check out why the job market is the way it is, I only found one video that I think was truthful and honest. So let me share that link with you. So there's an excellent talk called "What's Old is New Again." Go ahead and check out this talk. I'm not going to do a full reaction to this talk, but I do want to show you one interesting quote. So definitely check out the video, but here's a quote that I found, which is really, really relevant. So the quote is, "By the time I graduated, I was laid off. Most of my friends' startups failed, and we were all desperately looking for work. We were competing with experienced engineers who were laid off or worse, or whose startups have failed. Every day we heard of a big startup collapse." Does that sound familiar? That's exactly what is happening now. Here's the thing though, here's the kicker. This was the quote from 2022, and this is a cyclical thing. When the economy is not so good, when the interest rates are high, job market gets tough. With that being said, watch this talk because there's some really good tips on the realistic expectation that you could have. But just like in 2002, when things were hard, things got better. And so hopefully being optimistic as you continue to develop your skills, things will get better. And guess what? You'll be ready because you've been developing your skills to take advantage of the workforce. And so what am I doing? I am working on a personal project. I'm building a headless CMS where I want to offer free courses for anybody to enjoy. I do have a sign up, but that you don't even have to use it. If you click on sign in, you have a dummy account. The only reason I have a logged in user, you could save the courses that you're taking to your own profile. And currently I have a couple of courses. I am learning about Astro. I'm building things with Astro. So in the same time, I'm making videos around Astro. And what's awesome, like these videos are my worst performing videos, and I don't care because I am doing something that's leading me to develop a skill. For instance, if I take a look at this video and look at the analytics, literally I lost one subscriber, only 53 views, because the whole point, I'm not doing this YouTube for the sake of doing YouTube. I don't want to be a YouTuber. I'm literally using this to build a brand of myself as a developer, try new things, improve my understanding of the things I'm doing through teaching, and build things that I want that allow me to get better as a developer. So what is my goal for 2024 moving into 2025? Well, what I want to do is I want to build a tutorial series where I build the same project with 3 different technologies, and slowly as I introduce those technologies, I'm going to record courses. So we're going to use Astro as one of the frameworks. We're going to use Remix as the other. We're going to use Next.js. And the idea is start with crash courses where I teach you everything that I know that will help you get started with this frameworks quickly. And we're also going to use Strappy as a backend. And why am I doing this? Is because I just want to dive deeper into those technologies so I could talk about those differences of when someone asks me, why is Next.js better? I don't know. Why is Remix better? When should I use Astro? I want to have the know-how and be able to tell them with great detail where one framework shines and where one framework might be better for something else. And so the idea I am, instead of worrying about the situation of the world, I'm just building my own LMS. I have reasons why I'm doing this. I am building courses to improve my teaching, to improve my talking about what I'm learning. So I am literally just doing things regardless how people feel about my channel, even if they like it or they don't like it, they use it or they don't use it. I'm doing it because I enjoy it, because I know it's leading me to become a better developer, better educator, regardless all the hate that I get. So the last point that I want to make in this video is all I want you to do is to ask yourself, are you doing things in life that are constructive or destructive? Like if you're just consuming YouTube and you're watching these videos that tell you there's no jobs, no opportunity, and you go to watch it so many times, something that's very destructive for you, right? Like I think being, delusionally optimistic is still better than being like, oh, there's no opportunities for me. It's not. And so just stop doing that and think, what constructive thing can you do? And when I think about constructive activity, and this is something that I struggle in my life, and this is why I call things constructive or destructive. For instance, playing a video game, it's not like bad, right? Because you get some sort of enjoyment out of it. But let's say you play a video game 8 hours, 12 hours, 20 hours, which I've done. That's a very destructive activity because it takes away from your time, which you'll never get back, and other people don't benefit from that. So what I think of a constructive action is doing something that I benefit from, but others could benefit from, regardless if they like it or not. So for me, building these courses, I'm learning something, but also it's creative. Other people could benefit from it. It's absolutely free. Like, you could do it. I make music more than I play video games, even though number one, it gives me same enjoyment, but at the same time, like music, I could share with other people. And one thing that when I used to struggle with my addiction with video games, because I have very addictive personality, I've never talked publicly about it, but whatever. I decided, you know what, instead of playing video games, let me try to make some video games. So I'm trying to churn every little activity that I have into constructive behavior, but don't get me wrong, there's still times where I'll do some destructive video game players, like playing on Friday. I'll start playing, Wildlands Breakpoint, phenomenal game to this day, and I'll play all the way until Sunday, or I'll spend 2 days on Netflix. We're not perfect, but the idea is there's things that you control, there's things you can't control, and so take the reins of the things that you could control and work on doing activities, regardless if the world gets better or worse. You're still doing some sort of skill that will eventually help you grow. And if you get enjoyment out of it, that's pretty awesome. And if you don't, maybe that is a good sign for you to find something that you might enjoy. And that's why throughout my life, I've done many things. I owned a Brazilian martial arts school where I taught Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. I worked as a contractor, doing construction, masonry work. I really loved it. And then I just decided I want to be a developer. In the late age of 35, I started learning to code. I didn't get my first job until 39. And here I am. And now, like, if people ask me, well, what are you going to do? Well, I'm going to do this as long as I can. And then I have other goals. For instance, when I get closer to my 50s, I'm 43 now, I want to shift into focusing primarily like working with VR and building VR experiences, like with Unity or whatever, Unreal Engine, like when I do this thing. And so life comes in phases, and you just have to decide what do you want to commit your next 10 years to and really dedicate yourself to it and go after it. But with that being said, thanks for watching. I'm back to making my tutorials again. Bye, everybody.